So what happens now?
Well, Destiny picks us up, and then you tell us everything that you've learned since breaking the code. Come on. You had to know that this game wasn't going to last forever.
It's not a game, Colonel. Destiny's mission requires a level of commitment I doubt anyone in that ship's prepared to make.
What mission? There is no mission other than getting these people home.
You're wrong. It was never about going home. It's about getting us to where we're going.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
You know, these past few weeks, I've learned so much more about the ship, about its mission. It's far more important than we ever thought.
Okay, let's hear it.
Are you familiar with the cosmic microwave background radiation?
Noise left over from the Big Bang.
A long time ago, the ancients made a discovery. They found evidence of a structure buried deep within the background radiation. They believed that at one time, this structure had genuine complexity, coherence. Therefore, could not have occurred naturally.
How is that even possible?
It's not. At least not according to our current understanding of physics. Nor could we even see this structure with our technology.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Some kind of code? A message?
Message, perhaps. Or a sign of intelligence from the beginning of time.
Sent by?
Well, that's the very question they sought to answer when they launched Destiny. That is the mission. We're talking about a mystery rooted in the foundation of reality. A puzzle with pieces scattered across the length and breadth of the universe itself.
I swear to God, Rush, if this is another one of your hoaxes...
Once I'd broken the code, I had access to the ship's complete archive. There are thousands of pages devoted to this. Scientific research, philosophical debate.
If we don't have the technology to see this thing, how the hell am I supposed to believe...
Because Destiny is not our technology, Connor. The ancients left us their data, as well as the ship.
And you've seen this data?
I'll show it to you. I don't promise you're going to understand it, but it's there. Someone's got to see this mission through. We're here, why not us? Stop saying we don't belong in that ship. Embrace it. Move forward. Stop looking behind us.
I just want to get these people home.
Well, I'm starting to think that seeing this mission through may be our only chance of ever doing that.
Well, what does that even mean?
We're talking about a level of order present at the very beginning of space-time that goes beyond anything we ever conceived. I believe that the more we learn, the more pieces Destiny uncovers, and the greater our power to control everything around us will be.
So it is about power?
Yes, Colonel. Power to change things. Control our fate. Right the wrongs.
To play God?
No. To gain greater understanding.
What the hell do you want from me?
I want you to work with me. Together. Side by side for the benefit of everyone.
Oh. It'd be a hell of a lot easier if you stopped keeping secrets.
It's fair to say we've had our differences, but that ends today. You have my word.
Oh man, you are a lot of work.
So, Dr. Rush explains to Colonel Young what the true mission of Destiny is. Welcome. Let's talk a little bit about this concept in physics and astronomy and the mission of Destiny. So, the mission of Destiny was to find out the structure hidden in the back of the cosmic microwave background radiation. For those of you who don't know astronomy, astrophysics, or those types of concepts, or CATs, let's break this down a little bit. So there was these two guys. They were doing work on telescopes, and they thought when they were trying to figure out, well, they had these radio telescopes, and they were getting this interference signal that they could not understand, and no matter where they pointed it in the sky, they were receiving it. At first they thought that it was pigeons were in the antennas. So they were trying to figure out how. So they went and they got brooms and they sweeped out the inside of these antennas. They look like these big horns type of antennas. And when they figured it out that this is not the case, they cleaned it out and it was coming from every part of the sky. So they were able to measure it, and they measured the wavelength and the frequency, and they calculated it that, and they converted it to a temperature, and that temperature is like 2.723 or so, 2.7 something Kelvin, which if you know the Kelvin scale, 0 degrees Kelvin is called absolute zero. You can never reach that temperature. Nothing can ever get to that temperature. You can get very, very close just because the energy it takes to pull heat out of that becomes infinite. But you can get very close. It's a limit, as you know, in physics and well, in your calculus class, it's a limit. So it approaches that, but you can actually get to that value. So what they theorized is that since the universe is expanding, that once upon a time they thought that this was remnants from the beginning of the universe. Some may call that the Big Bang. There's actually several different theories that use the word Big Bang. Not all of them match up with each other. Some people might call it the creation of a universe by some supernatural means, God of some sort. However you believe it, that's what, based on the expansion rate of the universe, it's the Hubble constant, which is not constant. It's an approximation. So that's another issue altogether. But it's around 60 or 70 megaparsecs per Kelvin per second. I got to double check those units. But let me do that right now. I ain't perfect. I just don't have everything memorized, but I know it's like, yeah, megaparsecs per kilometer per, it's kilometer per second per megaparsecs. Forgive me, but what that is it's telling us the expansion rate. Parsecs is a distance measurement. Kilometer is a distant measurement as well. Seconds, of course, is a time measurement. Now, parsec is for about a star in the sky that's about 10 light years away. For 1 second of arc, 1 second of arc is an angle measurement. You know, there's 360 degrees in a circle. 1 degree breaks down into 60 minutes, and that breaks down into 60 seconds, arc seconds. So arc seconds refers to that. So if something's 10 light years away, it would be 1 arc second on parallax. But anyways, so the cosmic microwave background radiation, since the universe is expanding, that was a much higher frequency, a smaller wavelength when it started. But if the universe is expanding, it stretches out, kind of like stretching out a slinky. And that's what the theory is on the cosmic microwave background radiation. So back to Stargate. They're saying that there is some pattern hidden within the cosmic microwave background radiation from the beginning of time. Wow. Do you understand how profound that is? How philosophical it is? It's religious and it pushes the limits of physics that we still don't completely understand, pushes the limits of sci fi on television. That concept is completely not only mind blowing, it's controversial. So, what if that is true in real life? Well, I'm going to show you some images. So, when they first started measuring the cosmic microwave background radiation, um, the first major measurement of it was the Kobe satellite, COBE. Now that was in the late 80s, early 90s or something like that, 1990, 89 or 90. And they got a basic picture. It's kind of a temperature graph of the universe from our perspective. So a sphere outside of us. Now the images I'm going to show, of course, just like you see the map of the world, you have to put it in 2 dimensions so it looks like an oval. Those are the images you're going to show. Just you have to wrap your mind in and pretend that's a 3D view of everything around you in a sphere. The second one was WMAP. The WMAP satellite got more detailed information. And the most recent is the Planck spacecraft. And that got even more detailed information. Again, it's a temperature, 3D temperature plot, well, 2D, but it's a 3D temperature plot of our entire universe to try to analyze it. Now, this looks a little funky the way you would think that if the universe was coherent and stable, I gotta be careful with that word, it would be uniform. This temperature graph is not uniform. So that some theorize that, some who talk about M theory think about it as that each of those temperature variants are where our universes are touching into other universes, like bubbles next to each other. I'm not so sure about that, but you never know. But what it does show is that it's not consistent, it's not uniform, it has it's variable. So maybe on Stargate, Dr. Rush, there might be some truth to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Dr. Rush would like to say a few words.
My friends. Oh yes, perhaps that is an overstatement. But we are at least shipmates who have, up until now, shared great adversity. I know a lot of you, probably most of you, also share the hope of going home. It is a fact that the conditions inside the star bode very poorly for the sustained viability of a wormhole, and I owe it to you all to tell you that.
Still trying to scare people and get on with this.
The ancients did not devote the efforts of an entire generation to build this ship on a whim. Neither was destiny named on a whim. Over 1 million years ago, the ancients discovered a complex structure buried deep within the background radiation, the fingerprints of an intelligence that existed very near the beginning of time itself. Destiny was launched in search of that intelligence. Who knows how close we are to finding it? How close we are to learning, in the ancients' words, the destiny of all things. I don't pretend to know when that's going to be, in which stars that will happen. or even how that will change our view of the universe. I only know that destiny has come this far. And if we abandon her now, there'll be no coming back. All of that knowledge will be lost forever. I believe this journey is the reason I'm here. But I can't hope to do it alone. I ask you to come with me.
You know, I believe that those of you who want to go home deserve that chance. But I joined Stargate Command for a reason. So I too am willing to stay aboard. What we are looking for are 10 volunteers. So I am asking those of you who want to be here to please step forward.
All right, listen to me. You've already accomplished the damn mission. Our goal was to investigate the 9th Chevron address, and you've done that. Now, I do not deny that there once was a mission, but if it was as important as Rush claims it to be, they sure as hell couldn't expect us to do it. There is no noble voyage to save the universe or to meet God or whatever it is that Rush has sold you on. There is only the day that this ship dies.
David, we don't know that.
I've got a good mind to try to take you all back by force.
Good luck with that.
Those of you still taking part in the evacuation are going to form 2 lines. Everything we carry with us becomes a projectile in a 9 Chevron transit, so we are going home with the clothes on our backs, nothing more. Eli has warned them to expect us, but it seems that a radio signal does not reach across a 9 Chevron connection, so I'll go first to warn them that we're on our way. We will follow in 3-second intervals, 2 at a time. Eli, are we ready?
Yeah, the program's all set. You're good to go.
"15 minutes, people. And we go home.